the Marine, his sister called him Clendon. I don't know whether you remember that story. But after the fighting in the north of Okinawa was much less intense, at least for my regiment, than it was in the south. But when we got to the south, one of the first things we did was send out a lot of patrols to explore the front before the attacks, multiple attacks got underway the following day. And that was I guess the lieutenant in charge of the patrol behaved very, very foolishly, and he had everybody moving in single file down a trench aimed at the enemy, and actually at the other end of the trench was a Japanese soldier with a machine gun, and he shot the first Marine that turned up. He killed, and when I got there, 10 or 15 seconds later, I guess he was already dead. But he was, as I pointed out, they rolled him on his side so that at first the blood would not fill up the wrong lung. But even so, he was very clearly dead. But then that Japanese machine gunner, as I said, very foolishly, then started shooting at the Easy Company line, Easy Company line, where we had all come from. And I say foolishly because the gun gives off a smoke ring, because they don't use smokeless powder, and they lubricate the barrels of their guns. So I could see that going out, and I just fired a string of rounds from one clip of ammunition and just go right down, hoping that the last one would hit the gunner, and everything stopped. But then he started shooting again, and I just reloading the clip, and he took off. Still visualize him running on the balls of his feet, the way a child runs, not as the way a real runner runs. And I can remember he was an NCO. You can see the NCO insignia on his shoulders, and I can still visualize the NCO sword swinging from his hip. And he got about 30 yards before I shot him, and when I shot him, he went down. Was he dead? I don't know. I didn't go out and look. But then, many years later, Malone, that was the Marine's name. I think it was James Glendon Malone. His family always called him Glendon. I didn't really know him, but I ran across his name in somewhere on the internet about people from Kentucky who'd been killed in the war. And I contacted his niece first, and then his sister, and told them the story. And it's something that sticks in my mind. And one of the things that surprises me most is when he's lying on his side, to see the blood from each wound running across. And when I look at an American flag for more than a few minutes, I always think of that fellow.